What is going on, buddies? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome along to episode number 4 of the F124 Driver Career Mode series here on the channel. If you did miss any of the first 2 episodes, as well as the F2 prologue, make sure to go check those out before you see this one. Check out the playlist to get yourself caught up on this series so far. And today is a big day, ladies and gentlemen. It's for the first time we are getting a secret meeting, one of the brand new features in F124, and this meeting is with Alpine. So Alpine, relatively close to us in the fight R&D wise, 8th in the Constructors' Championship. So this is the first meeting with any team looking for a seat potentially for next year. Now, not a lot of information is given to us to start things off. Of course, we've got our seat to RB. We're not doing too bad right now. There's our performance from the first few rounds, and there's Alpine's by comparison. Alpine, one of the few teams yet to score a point. We were a team yet to score a point until last time out down under in Australia. So, honestly, I'm not feeling Alpine too much just because of how close they are to our level of performance. We're sort of aiming higher up the grid, if I'm completely honest, but I don't want to decline the talk because you never know, we might end up with nowhere for next season. So we'll continue the talks and we'll keep an eye on things as the season goes on. But I'm looking forward to having more of these meetings throughout season 1.
I've been scouring the socials and asking around, and I'm delighted to say that the team are none the wiser about us chatting with anyone else. And the meeting went well too. I know. I'm amazing. You're welcome.
So no one is any the wiser to us making moves potentially with other teams for next season. So with that in mind then, we'll go back to RB and get ourselves going on this race, which is of course the Japanese Grand Prix. Now the 4th round of the season after the change from its usual late season slot. Looking forward to this one. But saying that, I haven't driven Suzuka in a good few years career mode wise, so we could be in the mud today. You never know, but hopefully for us it'll go right. We can nab some more points to the board because I'll be on the uprise now after scoring those first points in Australia. Specialists all done there. We'll have a brief look at our contract if we can as well, just to get the progress on that. So there we are, up trajectory so far, looking at a target of 80 still, but we're well on course for that. 75 as it stands, of course, and there's our accolades, not a lot of change there. But our rivalry after these first 3 rounds, we are currently leading the way over Yuki, because we've outdone him so far in the majority of stats. Of course, qualifying hasn't been one for us too much, and of course the finish in Australia definitely helped things on our end. So yeah, we're doing well at the minute, but you never know. He could come back at us as RB gets better and better and better. We'll have a look at the R&D as we look into the next Grand Prix. I can get an upgrade going here on aerodynamics if we can. Yes, there we go. Resource points have been put to good use. Got a failed chassis upgrade, which we use just to get that into shape again. When Yuki's looking at it, but we'll go for it instead. And that's more or less all our points. Nothing that we can really do here in terms of upgrades. Yuki's already got a handle on the other departments, which I think is fantastic. It's a good thing about having the teammate do it. We do a durability upgrade there as well. See, 5 upgrades on our part, and still really just sort of laying the groundwork to try and catch those top 5 teams. We sit 6th now in the R&D chart. So we'll go ahead and also make a change to our make sure our vehicles all okay. That's all good there. So we'll go to accelerate time now, getting again further towards the Grand Prix. Hopefully all our upgrades come through okay. There we go. Failure on the aero side of things, which is frustrating, but we've got the points to try and take care of it. So I have to go back and have a look at that before we go any further. But we are quite low on points, so we have to leave this one to Yuki, to be completely honest. A failure, a bit annoying going into the Grand Prix weekend. Looks like Yuki's sorting it, so, well, again, another reason why it's fantastic to have our teammate there, because he'll sort it before we even get to it. So, nothing to worry about there. Yuki all over that, and, of course, we'll make a bit more progress R&D-wise. But now it's time to jump into qualifying for the 4th round of the season, the Japanese Grand Prix.
A warm welcome everybody from a venue that has seen plenty of sensational laps over the years. Remember, Verstappen in 23, Vettel in 2019, some phenomenal pole laps. But whose will it be today?
Time then for qualifying here in Suzuka. Looking forward to what should hopefully be a decent appearance this time around, of course. Now, qualifying hasn't been fantastic for us in recent races, if I'm being completely honest. It's 2 dead last starts in a row. So we're looking to change that today by hoping to make it into Q2 like we did back in Bahrain. So off the last corner now for our first qualifying lap of Q1, down towards the line and beginning that very long run towards turn 1, at least from the actual start of the timing line, into that very fast 2 right-handers into the first couple of corners here. Nice and smooth, keeping it to the outside, hitting the curb there, the exit turn 1 and off turn 2 as well, almost going into the grass, but keeping it under control just about. And now through the S's, back and forth here. A very enjoyable start to that. The whole lap as a whole is very enjoyable to drive. You feel like you're really right on the limit as you go. Again, almost onto the grass. Here's a particular tight spot for us. Be careful not to run wide there or go off on the gravel, or worse, to the other side of the wall, the other side of the racetrack. So our first sector comes out at 33.1, a bit wide there again. So making mistakes, but learning the track once again as you come to the last corners now, or to the last sector, I should say, charging out of 130R and towards the final chicane. down into the braking zone, looking for a smooth run all the way through, avoiding the hitting the post on the entry. Out of the last corner, good traction downhill and towards the line to complete our first run. And it's a solid effort, the 1:31.1, so a decent time, but compared to how we stack up against everyone else, not too sure yet until we actually get everyone on the racetrack. Yuki out-qualifies us immediately, but only by about 2/10 there, so still a bit of work to do to try and match him over the course of the session. Of course, he's outscored us in qualifying, I think, in every race so far. But in terms of our time this time around, as we accelerate further into Q1, we're actually safe in Q2 at the minute by a few places, so we're not fighting to go into, to avoid getting knocked out of the session. A few minutes to go though, we'll make a change onto that second set of tyres we get for Q1 and go for one final effort. Magnussen there, just in front of us to come through 130R once again. Careful not to be held up by too much. We're 6/10 up. We don't want to get stuck behind him and lose that time, which could happen in the last few seconds of the session here. But through the last corner and down towards the line, we're looking like we'll be safe here in the next part of qualifying. He crossed the line and up into a very brilliant P2. Where did that come from? Right in half a second behind the Red Bull of Max Verstappen, but what an effort in the final part of Q1 to get us into the next session. Without a doubt there, Sonoda through in P7. In terms of drivers getting knocked out, Perez in P14 there. Ocon, Sargent, Bottas, Hulkenberg and Magnussen make up your bottom 5. And so not only did we avoid getting knocked out in Q1, we did it in quite some audacious style now into Q2. I think this will we meet our match a bit more, but off the last corner to end our first effort, puts us P8 at the time set so far, make that P9. Someone comes through right behind us with one of the Aston Martins to set their lap. Alonso tops the session, P11 right now, and that drops very quickly down to P15 with a few minutes to go. Yuki also outside the top 10 as well, so it's unlikely for us to advance that shootout pole position, but you never know. If we can pull out another good effort like we did last time around, of course, that was on worn soft we did just there, and now we're using our fresh set of soft tyres for the run. But crucially, I accidentally hit my overtake button going into when I first actually started the run because I learned it on a flying lap, and we had to use the none to turn it completely off to get it going again. But we didn't get enough charge, so I thought I'd go for it for a second, but in the end decided, nope, we'll think better of it and go for one final effort instead on the next lap, which of course will cost us a bit in tyre wear, but at least we'll have full battery charge to go at it for one proper crack at making the top 10. Out the way for Yuki, let him go for his effort. We're 1 minute and 40 seconds to go, so plenty of time for us to make it round and have another try. As we come through now to complete that last effort into the second sector, and we're 6/10 up right now. It's going to be a very big improvement here, but will it be enough to get us into the next part of qualifying through Spoon? Good exit, another 10th game. We're almost a second up on our previous effort as we charge up the hill towards 130R. It's going to be very tight. We're going to actually do anything to get us into the last part of qualifying. Into the corner we go now, looking for a decent run. Still almost a second up. It's going to be very tight, as I say, towards the final chicane. You see a few cars in front of us finishing their laps. So the session is over. Checker flag has fallen over the curbs there. That might cost us a little bit. Almost getting to a second. It is over a second as we cross the line. Is it going to be quite enough? Over the line, not sure if we've done it. It's going to be very tight with P10 or P11. It's P11 in the end, so close to our first Q3 appearance, but given qualifying the last few races, we've out-qualified Yuki too, but he joins us in the bottom 5. Albon, Zhou and Gasly all out. There, everyone else through to Q3 as Science tops the session, but a successful qualifying by our standards in previous races, but can we convert that into a point-scoring finish this time around? It's time to find out.
Welcome along then to the magnificent Suzuka International Circuit, a stone's throw away from Issa Bay in the beautiful Japanese countryside. What surprises lie in wait for us today at the Japanese Grand Prix? We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at the unique figure-of-8 Suzuka Circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with average speeds approaching 136 miles per hour. DRS will be available, of course, into the potential passing opportunity at turn 1, although the best place for overtaking will be through 130R and into the final chicane. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Fernando Alonso completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Stroll, Cohen, Sonoda, Albon, Zhou, Gasly, Ocon, Sargent, Bottas, Hulkenberg, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Now, you'll remember back from your racing days, Ant, working with the team and getting to know them is oh so important. That's what this driver's going through at the moment. And I think one thing we are seeing with this driver at the moment is that they're very much embedded within the team. They know the team knows them, and it's working wonderfully.
Okay, this is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix, which means there's a lot of very important people here behind the scenes. I'd love to give them a strong result to watch today, plus a good result might make my post-race meetings a little bit easier.
So here we go then, no more talking. Time for action at the Japanese Grand Prix from P11 on the grid. Perhaps our best chance at scoring a points finish on pure pace. Of course, we were helped by quite a few safety cars last time out, but this time we could be in for a proper treat right amongst the pack. In terms of strategy, simple one-stop starting on the hard tyres and going onto the mediums for a stronger finish. Has to be careful on the fuel here. I've been told that the fuel burns quite quickly, quite similar to Zandvoort as we've seen in previous games. We've always had that issue. Onto the formation lap we go then, and it looks as though the two RB drivers, so myself and Yuki, we've gone for the ultimate strategy compared to everyone else. Everyone else looks to be starting on the mediums and going on to the hards. So we could be looking for a longer first stint than the rest of the field here. Stroll just in front of us, Hamilton directly in front. We could be looking at if we get good getaway, we could be in the points paying places by turn 1 if we get the right permutation of cars starting around us. So keep an eye on Yuki behind. We'll be looking to try and break it himself. It's his home Grand Prix, and as it was said by Mark, it's Honda's home Grand Prix too for the RB team. So it's all to play for and a lot of people to win for today. Can we score some points here in the 4th round of the championship? Time to find out. Here come the lights for the 4th race. The F124 driver career mode. Verstappen and Alonso on the front row. Lights out, foot to the floor. We are underway. Verstappen moves over to cover off. Alonso on the start. We pull away. Bad start. Tsunoda gets a great getaway up into P10. Albon on our outside too. Drops back towards turn 1. Side by side between our compatriot Hamilton and our teammate Tsunoda. Through the first 2 corners, Albon still looking to get alongside as he pulls alongside. Jumps ahead by about half a car length. In the braking zone, we go back past him. Go a bit later on the brakes. We're making our way through the corner. So into P12 then. So down a place. Yuki's got us on the getaway. He'll start making moves to try and close on Hamilton. Big train here. Alonso leads the way up front. He's going to manage to get around Verstappen at turn 1, practically shoving Yuki up the hill here as we reach the end of the first sector. But again, poor getaway by comparison to our teammate in the other RB. And he needs to try and get back around as quickly as he can here on this open lap. Through the end of the first sector and charging towards the hairpin for the first time. Look for a lot of late braking moves in here. Let's try here. Down the inside of Yuki. Down the inside of Lewis too. Unlikely to actually make this one stick. On the exit, Lewis gets back around us. So it's P11 once again. So we've got our starting place back. We can get to work now and start to chase down the leaders. But I imagine Yuki will come right back at us as we come further into the end of the first lap and onto lap 2 of this Grand Prix. DRS coming into play, not immediately, of course, the detection point was back at the chicane, but Yuki's got a good enough run of us anyway. Let's go to the inside and take back P11. So we're going to be in quite a fight with our teammate here today as he looks to impress in front of his home crowd. Through turn 2, we stay stuck behind him. Good exit, he tries to pull away a bit. Hamilton's pulled away a bit too. So we're already losing time to the cars in the top pack. The front 10 looking to pull away and nabble the points of the back 10. Us lot are stuck here scrapping for nothing but pride. Albon's the outside at 130R. Can he get the move done? He can't quite. We'll shut the door on him going through here, but this time we'll be in control of the DRS to come through the last couple of corners. Let's get P11 back off Yuki. Up front, Leclerc says the fastest lap of the race. It's been quite a scrap up front for the leaders, and Tsunoda is pulling away, looking to try and close on Lewis, but he's not doing that, and we're going to try and close on him, but Albon closes us too fast, and there goes the Williams on the inside into turn 1. We lost another place here, down to P13, but back around the outside, trying it over the curbs there, and didn't quite work out for us. Albon stays in P12, and we're resigned to once again chasing the next car in front of us. We push further into that just a few corners later, and charging towards the hairpin once again, looking for a late move. Can we get a late lunge down the inside? Alex Albon close to contact. Albon tries to switch back on exit, gets alongside us, but it's not enough. The battery on the exit allows us to get back in front of the tyre driver and start hunting down Yuki Tsunoda once again for P11. Hamilton now 3 seconds up the road, so points looking unlikely at this point, short of a mechanical problem for one of the cars in front of us. Onto lap 5 of the Grand Prix now, hunting down our teammate Tsunoda once again, charging towards turn 1, DRS and overtaking deploy to the inside in towards the first corner. Didn't get enough of runs to try and challenge there, but Yuki locks up a bit through turn 2, confusingly. He's managed to keep it under control, so no issue for him there, but Albon keeping us under pressure as well. As we get our first objective of the race to keep our total fuel load above a certain amount. Now, Suzuka quite fuel heavy, but overfueled by almost 2 laps going into the start of this race, so just trying to avoid it running out at the end. If we can try and keep it as high as possible, that'd be great for us. We're also trying to get it back in front of Tsunoda, but at this point, I'd rather prioritise chasing P11 and hope that perhaps something goes on for the cars in front. On to start lap 6 now. Again, same situation. No battery in use this time. We've got enough for run with the DRS. Going to pull to the inside, then the outside of the racetrack. Into turn 1, try the outside this time. Very close to contact, but on the outside of our teammate on the exit, Yuki comes along and hits us. You see the hand up and frustration in the cockpit there, but we managed to get back out in front of him. So back into P11 once again. Hamilton now 4.5 seconds up the road. That whole train continues to pull away. On to lap number 7 now, getting towards the end of our fuel target. Got 2 laps to go on that. A bit deeper into the chicane. Yuki might come back at us. And keep an eye on Albon as well. It's fallen back a little bit, but could come back into play. Should we stuff each other up down the main straight once again. DRS to deploy for Sonoda now. Down the main straight. Goal objective completed, not the fuel one. 2 laps to go on that. Sonoda gets back past us for P11. And we once again, the cat and mouse game continues on as we both scramble against each other for a way past and trying to maintain that position for as long as we possibly can here. Now on lap 8 of this Grand Prix. A lap and a half later, on to lap number 9 now, getting towards the end of our target. It's looking like we're going to just miss out here. Only just, to be very tight. We can perhaps save a bit on the exit. No, not a chance of it. We've failed the objective. And there is the message for you. It tells you all you need to know. DRS back in play. We've lost time to Yuki though through doing that. So by trying to save a bit of fuel, we've almost fallen out of DRS range completely here. So it's crucial to get back up to him. And now we've got our next objective on lap 12 to overtake Sonoda before lap 17. So now this is the first time we've actually been given a chance to try and pass our teammate on one of these objectives since F2, so let's take full advantage of this and try and get him back as soon as we can. See us really pushing there, trying to find some time. See us going almost through the gravel. And now on to lap 14, just 2 laps later. We're going to still try and fight back and get around him if we can. Getting quite aggressive in terms of our corner entry to try and gain a bit more time, really using those curves. If we can try and go for late lines like we've done Alex Albon at the start of the race, it might work for us down the inside. There we go. Only needs to pass him once in order to actually get the objective. There's a slight flaw in this, if I'm honest. I think if you're in front at the time that the lap actually hit, that'd be a bit more effective. But now everyone into the pit lane on lap 15. The strategy for everyone else means they come in first, but myself and Yuki can come in later on. The race for the lead now. We go around the outside of Sonoda into turn 1, which should mean we'll get preference in the pit stops regardless, because our strategy will be to pit in the end of this lap. You saw our pit window open here. It's going towards the end of lap 15, looking for a clean stop this time now, because we've had problems in the past that have cost perhaps. Think back to Bahrain when the points perhaps maybe squandered a bit through the pit stop error on our first or our second stint. I don't remember, but there was a mistake in the play. But hopefully this time we'll come into the pit lane and there won't be any issue on our stop this time around to change onto the medium tyres.
There seems to have been a problem attaching the left front wheel. We need to try and put that behind us though and finish this race strong.
Guys, again, seriously, this can't keep happening.
Another pit stop error that's cost us crucially here. We rejoin in P11 once again. There goes Russell around us. Russell's been having problems over the course of the day, so he's dropped back from this train, and the pit stops haven't helped him at all here. He's now right there with us, and in the pit stop sequence, I know Yuki's yet to stop, so that could move back up to fighting for P10 here. We'll see where Yuki comes out. He's in the pit lane now and looking for the exit. We're chasing Russell, so DRS down the main straight. We're on medium tyres too, so we should be stronger on this second stint. There is Yuki coming out the pit lane now and towards turn 1. We're going to just about squeeze in front of him. Any closer, we have to give him the space, but it's something sort of cut across his path as he rejoins and take P11 back. And now George Russell struggles in the Mercedes, means that we have a chance to try and nab a single solitary point here at Suzuka. On to lap 18 now. DRS in deploy as we fight Mercedes once again here at Suzuka. We fought Hamilton on the start. Now we're fighting Russell. Contact there. We've gone into his side pod into turn 1. Russell goes ahead. We'll let him go there because we did hit him, so we have to return the place regardless on the rear left one wall. So keep it realistic here. We managed to get around him on the lap number 18 now into the final 10 laps of the race. Russell and Sonoda both coming at us now. Both will have DRS. Both of them will have battery to use as well. We've got nothing to defend with. Down the main straight. Russell's the inside. Yuki follows him through. Both of them getting us in a double whammy here as we charge towards turn 1 once again. George in front. Around the outside of Sonoda, going off the circuit there and trying to get back around our teammate. Can't do it for the minute. We need a good drive off here into the left-hander. There we go, back in front. But crucially losing out to Russell. Have to be careful not to collide with Yuki at any point over the course of this Grand Prix, because I don't want to jeopardise the points potentially. One of us could score in this Grand Prix. It really doesn't matter who scores them as long as they go to the team.
Okay, mate, that's Yuki behind you. They are faster than you. They are faster than you. Let them through, please.
If Yuki's faster, he can get around me. I don't see why I need to get out of the way for him.
Team orders for the first time here. We've been told to move out the way for Yuki, but you know what? I want to go for the points. I don't want to see us be denied. So what we'll do here, we'll get the objective by letting him go and take advantage of the way the objective system works and go back around him. I don't feel the need to let Yuki through. I get with a rookie driver, and this is Yuki, his home race, both him and the engine supplier, who are also Japanese, but I really don't see why we should have to be giving up our places for him. Russell locks up on lap 20. They'll go down the inside of him in the same place we let Yuki through. Yuki about half second back, so not giving up just yet. So he could still nab the points off us if the right permutation of things go his way. But we go around the outside of Russell, almost onto the grass there on the outside. Now the insides are going towards Spoon Corner, side by side with the Mercedes, our compatriot in the Silver Arrow, side by side with him and jumping in front. Got the inside line on the exit. Careful to stay away from that curb, don't want to lose too much traction on the exit. But we're up now into P10 once again. But Russell closing again. A bit of a shunt there. He hits us going towards 130R. I think he was looking to the outside, but just ran himself out of room a little bit. So now Yuki pulls alongside. If we can try and take P11, that'd be fantastic for us points-wise. Sorry, position-wise, just because you never know. It'd be good to have Yuki having a good day as well, despite us looking for these points here. 5 laps to go. Yuki is now there behind us. He's the one in control of the train. He goes passing us, and Russell goes through as well in the same fashion he did a few laps ago. So once again, we find ourselves at the back of this trio. Russell, we almost ran into the back of him. We had to really brake there to avoid hitting the Mercedes into turn 1. So careful there to avoid any damage. We've got gearbox problems. We've been dealing with those for the majority of the race here. On lap 24, they haven't impacted us too much here. We're back down the inside of Russell, going into the corner, tapping Yuki there, and sort of sliding the car on the very edge of control. And that costs us a bit of time. We're up in front of George now, and surprisingly, no warning. The FIA didn't give us anything for that, so we'll carry on as we are. Meanwhile, up front, this race with 3 laps to go looks like as Oscar Piastri's one to win here. Never won in Formula 1 before, just his second season of competition. But Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, and Max Verstappen are all right there behind him. We could see a late change. 3 of F1's best hunting the sophomore driver in just his second season. Leclerc with DRS down the main straight, so they charge towards turn 1. 3 laps to go to settle it. Leclerc to the inside, and up into the race lead goes the Ferrari. The Monegasque is through. Piastri falls back into line. Alonso and Verstappen will look to challenge if they can, but it's Leclerc's now. He's in control of this one. You see the 3 cars behind him. Meanwhile, we're still fighting Tsunoda here, trying to find a way around him with a lap and a half still to go in this Grand Prix for us, onto lap 26. Russell still giving us pressure from behind as we continue on into the second sector. Yellow flags behind us. We get the green flag here to continue racing, but not quite sure what's happened to one of the cars further back. We're all clear the instant, but let's have a look at the replay. It looks like it might be Albon. It is Alex Albon, and for the second time in 2 races, on the penultimate lap, the tyre driver's race comes to a close. There is the smoke that tells you all you need to know. The Williams is eliminated from late contention to nab a higher points paying place. It happened in Australia. You saw last time out the smoke again appearing from the back of that Williams, and here in Japan, it's happened again. Albon pulls the car over. Game over for Alexander Albon. He will not finish the Japanese Grand Prix. As for us though, we're still fighting Yuki here. 1 more lap to go here in Suzuka to try and nab that last point off of our teammate, despite the orders earlier on telling us not to. They go to the outside of our teammate, to the outside to turn 1, in towards the braking zone. We get in front. Yuki has to take the shorter way around. We go dancing around the outside and up into P10 once again. Let's try and defend from these two over the last lap. Up front, Leclerc is on course for victory here. Since passing Piastri, he's only led a few laps this Grand Prix, but crucially, it'll be the ones that count. He'll be coming through to take 25 points for his efforts this afternoon, take Ferrari's first win of the season, to make him the 3rd different winner of the series. Charles Leclerc rounds the final corner to win the Japanese Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri home in 2nd, Alonso 3rd, Verstappen in 4th. Verstappen is game on for the Dutchman. He hasn't finished on the podium in either of the last 2 races. He's got work to do this season to keep those guys behind him. But meanwhile, we come through the last corners to nab the final points away from Tsunoda and away from George Russell. What a race here in Suzuka. That was great fun.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Good job, guys. Nice work as always. Thank you for the point scoring opportunity. I get you guys might be a bit frustrated with me not moving over for Yuki, but we'll discuss it later.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today. He wins.
To overcome the difficult circumstances they face throughout this race today, Crofty, it's not easy, and it really shows a lot of maturity, and you can use this, you can draw on this as a driver moving forward and boost your confidence through the rest of the championship.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
So Charles Leclerc then nabs Ferrari's and his first victory of the 2024 season. Oscar Piastri in 2nd place and Fernando Alonso in 3rd. 3 different manufacturers all on the podium, continuing the sort of fight for the constructors that we could be in for if things remain as chaotic and as competitive as they've been so far. As for us though, points finished in the end, and as these guys enjoy celebrations, we can only hope that we will join them at some point in the future.
Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So have a look at the remainder of your top 10. So Verstappen home in 4th, Lando Norris comes home in 5th, Sainz 6th, Hamilton 7th, Lance Stroll 8th, Sergio Perez comes back to 9th, and we nab the last point. Again, against orders of what RB wanted. Of course, they wanted Yuki to have the point, but we took it from them. And I think the combination of that, plus the secret meetings with Alpine, mean that if all falls apart, we could be in a bit of hot water over the course of our rookie season. In terms of Drivers' Championship, though, as another point to go on to our 5 from Australia, puts us P11 in the championship still, 5 in front of Bottas. Verstappen still leads, but Norris now 13 back. And Leclerc gets himself into the fight here with the victory today. Alonso there, alongside tied for 5th place, 41 each. Red Bull continues to show the way to McLaren. We sit in 6th place still. Big gap to close the top 5 teams. We're mainly fighting Sauber, Alpine, Williams and Haas over the course of this championship. But we've got the upper hand on them after 4 rounds. In terms of the rating then, and see how much we improve. Can we get to 76 races today? I doubt it. But improvements across the board, including an increase in pace by 1 to 78. And that'll bring us just underneath the 76 mark. I imagine we'll be able to hit that next episode. Recognition dead even between myself and Yuki here. So obviously no perks in play for the minute. But hopefully we can try and get that up by a point or 2 in the coming episodes. And our specialists are through as well. Yet to get one of those to the next level, which is annoying to see. We've gone back and forth with the objectives. We need to start focusing more on those as the episodes go on. But guys, that is the end of this episode. I do hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Should we continue future talks with Alpine? When the next come to us, I have to wait and see. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And until the next episode, guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.